Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 and ArrowFM. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
It's Royal Rumble week. The best week ever. Screw WrestleMania, Royal Rumble's better. But that also means we don't have a whole lot of time to get through things. So we're just going to start straight off. We know which two matches are going to be on the pre-show. The United States Championship match with Rusev defending against Shinsuke Nakamura is one of those.
Is anybody shocked?
No, when you looked at the card, there was honestly two matches that could have moved to the pre-show, and they're the two matches that moved to the pre-show. Left on the main card, you've basically got the Rumble matches, the World Title matches, the Women's World Title matches, and the one with Shane McMahon in it. Really, these were the only two that could ever move to the pre-show.
This should be an interesting match. Should tell us a lot about how they plan to use Rusev going forward. I think. So I think Rusev wins.
I'm just so hesitant.
Then who knows what happens to Nakamura.
Yeah, the upper mid card on SmackDown is heating up, blurring a bit. It's getting a little bit confusing exactly where they're heading. It seems like, Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, Andrade, Randy Orton popped back up, Mustafa Ali is still there, Shinsuke Nakamura might come out of this into that, obviously Rusev as the United States Champion. There's just so much going on in that upper mid-card, and especially with everyone that I just listed not in this US title match, they're crossing paths quite often. And I don't know what combination of feuds we're going to pop out on the other end with, but I'm interested to see. And I think pretty much every one of those five guys can go with each other. But the combination that we saw last week on SmackDown, Rey and Andrade, 2 out of 3 falls, it's the only thing we're going to mention not about the Royal Rumble this week is just because that match was goddamn amazing.
We'll have to see how they progress from here, but Adonis has definitely been elevated the last few weeks. Amidst rumors that he was telling his friends not to want to come to WWE.
Never trust the rumors, except for when they're right. Yeah, we will have to wait to see. I expect Andrade will be moving up the card with a lot of those guys that I listed. So once AJ Styles, presuming he loses in the match later on that we'll talk about, it'll be interesting to see who's going to jump up into that spot with Daniel Bryan and who's going to jump up into that spot with the United States Champion at the time. So there was a second match here on the pre-show, and that's the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy defending against Kalisto, Hideo Itami, and Akira Tozawa.
This will be the perfect match to put up right before the beginning of the pay-per-view. This will get the crowd into it, because this is going to be amazing.
High hopes on this match, huh?
There's no reason why it shouldn't be an amazing match.
Yeah, you're right. The Cruiserweight division guys always, no matter what situation they're put in, have amazing matches, and then you're combining purely the talent that's in this match. And the combinations we've seen out of this already on 205 Live, the chemistry is crazy with those guys. And Fatal 4-Way, with the pacing that you're going to expect from the Cruiserweight match, they're always good, the multi-man matches with the Cruiserweights. It's going to be non-stop action. There's going to be no breathing room, and you can't close your eyes because you'll miss half the match.
And somehow, some way, your boy will remain champion.
Somehow. He'll find a way. He'll probably pin some dude while another guy's distracted or after he's hit him with his finish. We'll find a dastardly way to win.
Yeah, some way it'll happen, and this is just going to be to set up further who will be his next challenger, which will be somebody I think will come from NXT.
Okay. Who are you leaning towards there?
Johnny Gargano.
Okay. I guess then, if we have time at the end to talk about the takeover, you're not going to be picking him to win the title then. Gotcha.
I wouldn't be picking him anyway.
Fair enough. We're 5 minutes in. We better get on to the main card. SmackDown Tag Team Championship, The Bar defending against Miz and McMahon. And why is Miz and McMahon going to win?
Because why the heck not?
Yeah.
This should be an interesting match. There's definitely several different ways that they can possibly go with the match. As far as directions that they go from there.
Mm-hmm.
We could end up with Miz and Shane as tag team champions and progress through that. We could end up with Shane and Miz at each other's throats at the end of the match.
Yeah.
And feuding towards WrestleMania. So we don't really know anything about where they want to go with this match. And I think that's the beauty of it. But I'm going to pick Shane and Miz to win. I think they'll go down that road. At least for a month. To kind of maybe mask as what they actually intend to do.
Yeah, me too. I'm just leaning towards Miz and McMahon because I'm having a lot of fun with their segments. The Bar, obviously, are a great tag team as well. Don't necessarily need the titles. So I'm more interested in seeing what Miz and McMahon will do with them. Going forward, but I think you're right. The outcome of this match is going to play into WrestleMania plans quite heavily, given that we're now 2.5 months away from WrestleMania-ish, if I can do my math right. So, yeah, I think everything from now on is setting us up for that. It would be the road to WrestleMania, as WWE's marketing would say. And now we've got the first women's title match, Asuka taking on Becky Lynch.
Asuka retains by some way.
Charlotte.
Probably Ronda Rousey.
Oh, you're going with Ronda.
Maybe Nikki Cross. Who knows?
There's so many interference options in a lot of these matches going forward because I'm still wholeheartedly behind Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, somehow getting to there, whether that's Charlotte screwing Becky here, whether that's Ronda screwing Becky here, Nikki Cross lining herself up to take on Asuka next, some crazy, insane, nope, I already listed Nikki Cross. There's plenty of other options that you can go with here. But I think most of them, if not 90% of them, have Asuka leaving with the championship around her waist.
Yeah. I'm going to guess that this match takes place after the Raw women's title.
Okay.
Because whatever happens in that match could also affect this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of that, because obviously with the Rumble as well, you know, it depends, or at least my predictions on the Rumble match all sort of weigh in on who is the current champions of both brands. And I guess what you're leaning towards is if Ronda isn't necessarily holding the title, Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, some combination of that might not be a title match. Sasha's also floating around, so you have the option of going the 4v4 route, which I don't think we're going to push for this WrestleMania, but it's possible. Or maybe Becky, Charlotte help out Sasha. Again, with the woman at the moment, cross-branded wise, there's actually so many opportunities.
Honestly, that match, that triple threat that we all expect.
Yeah.
It's got to be for a title. And it's got to be the main event of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So for those two things to occur, one of the women has to be holding a championship. So either at this point, either Becky or Ronda.
Yep.
And it would just be easier to keep the title on Ronda than it would be to put it back on Becky. And then the two women have to win the Royal Rumble matches.
Mm-hmm.
So they get the guaranteed main event title match.
Yeah, there's the vainness in me, or the cynicism in me, knows that if a women's championship triple threat is going to headline WrestleMania, that it will be the Raw Women's Championship. But with the whole Fox thing, you never know. Maybe it will be SmackDown. If they are for the Raw Women's Championship, then obviously it would be two women competing cross-brand. If it's for the SmackDown, it's just Ronda competing cross-brand. So some things are easier than others. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens on the night.
I think with the introduction of the tag team titles, I think that's going to kind of eliminate brand designation for the women.
Okay.
At least in some degree, because
Mm-hmm.
the tag team titles will be going back and forth between the two shows. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I understand to be the plan at this time.
Yeah.
So them coming over from SmackDown to Raw isn't going to be that important as it would have been a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be a wait and see. I've heard crazier theories along the lines of I think it was Becky wins the title, Ronda wins the Rumble after losing her title, and then Charlotte wins like an Elimination Chamber a number one contenders match at Elimination Chamber before Ronda picks who she faces, and then she just picks the SmackDown. So there's a couple of ways we can get to that triple threat as well.
Basically, they're going to steal these storylines they've used twice already, with either back with the 2004 main event for the world title, or more recently the 2008 storyline when Cena returned.
Mm-hmm. Couple options. We'll have to wait and see which option they go with. We've pretty much talked about the match, so we might as well just get Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks predictions out of the way.
Ronda Rousey. Next.
And then we're going to finish up the women's division on this side of the song, and that means I'm going to have to get up the competitors list for the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to read them out as quick as I can. Carmella, Ember Moon, Natalia, Bayley, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Alicia Fox, Zelina Vega, Naomi, Mickie James, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Charlotte Flair, Tamina, Dana Brooke, Lana, Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, the debuting Nikki Cross, and the debuting Lacey Evans. Sorry, it's still brandless for both of those as well. Returning Alexa Bliss, I'm pretty sure I already listed her. And 7 other women.
And the internet went nuts because they thought they were going to reveal all 30 people on Sunday. They revealed like 9 people. And it was 9 people we all expected.
I'm pretty sure from reading here there was 5 new announcers. So it's possible that 4 of them I think were already announced as well. Like I think the Iconics were already announced on SmackDown when they announced them on the Twitter as well. So yeah, it wasn't anything crazy. I guess Nikki Cross was probably the craziest one, and that was just because she hasn't picked a brand yet, or a brand hasn't picked her. I don't quite know how the process.
She's crazy.
I was just going to slip past my pun, and I knew you were going to point it out. I'm like, I made a pun. He's going to call it out. But yeah, what options you see in here? Because obviously our predictions are heavily clouded by the fact that we're leaning towards this Becky Charlotte double winner takes on Rousey thing.
Yeah, I got co-winners, Becky and Charlotte.
Now I'm gonna propose something else just to get the discussion going, right? Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, they're out of the picture. Who else you think would be cool to win this match?
I don't have anybody else. There's nobody else winning.
You have 0.
It's going to be those 2.
Oh, wow! You're that confident.
The last time I was that confident, Shinsuke Nakamura won the Rumble.
I really wish I was on the opposite side of the coin so I could be confident and argue against you, but I'm kind of on the same side of the coin on what I expect. So I just sort of nod along a little bit. To me, if those 3 were out of the picture, the situation I described earlier, I wouldn't mind seeing a Ember Moon, Ruby Riott potential, one of those 2 coming out. Or just surprise everyone and make it Nikki Cross. There's a couple options that I wouldn't mind coming out as the winner of the Rumble, especially with the Riot Squad presumably taking a big step in the women's tag titles at Chamber. Having Riot backing them up as well would be pretty darn neat, but I don't expect any of that to happen. I'm with you on the co-winners thing. All right.
Well, I will give you an option.
Yes.
Right? Charlotte wins the Rumble.
Okay.
Becky takes out R-Truth and wins the Men's Rumble.
So our song this week is an old Royal Rumble theme, the exact year I will get up. It is the 2007. For whatever reason, totally not obvious. But I'll let you ponder why we're playing this year's, and then when we get back from the song, Josh can tell us all. And you're back with a Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 and ArrowFM. Grady and Josh. Why was it the 2007 Rumble theme?
In my opinion, it just was the best Rumble match.
There we go. Sometimes you just never know what to expect.
I bet you were going with it was a double winner or something. No.
Yeah, I was.
No, there's only one double winner. That was 1994. There was a tie in 2004, 2005, but they redid the ending.
Oh, I thought it was the tied one. I don't know my years very well.
Yeah, that was 2005.
Oh, damn.
2007 was the one where they ended with HBK and Undertaker at the very end, and they just wrestled for 10 minutes.
Oh, I don't know my years very well. I thought this was the Batista, John Cena, Vince McMahon, Terra's Quads one.
No, that was 2005.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I was way off base, and that means it's time to get back into the Royal Rumble card. We're on the men's side of everything now, starting off with the WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan taking on AJ Styles with no stipulation as of today.
Daniel Bryan, next.
And then the Universal Championship, where Brock Lesnar defends against Finn Balor.
A 5% chance that Finn Balor wins this match. Largely off the back of Braun Strowman.
Okay.
But I do see Brock retaining because of who I see winning the men's Rumble. The legitimate winner for the men's Rumble.
Oh, yeah, R-Truth. Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't... Brock Lesnar will be at WrestleMania, right, with 2.5 months out. There's no way in HE double hockey sticks he doesn't get there. And it seems kind of weird to take the title off him and then have him continue around just to get to WrestleMania, and then I don't know what his plans after that are. But we'll see. As you say, there's a very thin chance of a Finn win. I've heard people actually battering around quite a high chance, but I think they might just be dreaming. I'm in camp Brock Lesnar's gonna win.
Yeah, I would say they're California dreaming, but the show's in Arizona.
Oh. And now it's the men's Rumble time, and that means I gotta read some names out real quick. R-Truth, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy, Dean Ambrose, Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, Elias, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, Apollo Crews, Andrade, Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, Titus O'Neil, Randy Orton, and maybe kinda probably not John Cena.
The winner, in my opinion, will be Seth Rollins.
I was sitting here in my head just going, Drew, and then you pick Seth.
No, there's no reason for Drew to win. Not with both champions being heel.
Except for the fact that I want him to.
Seth will win. He will challenge Brock at WrestleMania.
But alternate, what if Drew won? And
then AJ Styles probably wins the WWE Championship.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Oh, I will do anything to let Drew win this match. I am an unbiased journalist.
I will say this. I believe Drew will win a major title this year. Just not the Rumble match or at WrestleMania.
Okay.
As far as the main title. I'm actually believing he beat Seth for the title at SummerSlam.
Oh, it's so far away, though. Oh. Okay. You're just telling me that I have to sit down and wait longer.
Yeah, but at least I'm telling you that he's going to be winning the main title. The main title. Not like, oh, he's just going to win the Intercontinental title. And
he's already done that.
Yeah, when he was here before, but he hasn't done it since he came back.
If we were to look at the list, and we're going to take out Seth, and we're going to take out Drew, same question as the woman.
Let's see here. For the men's,
Because we still got 10 open entries as well.
Yeah. I have this... I'll go with a backdoor of... trying to think of who's in it again.
I can read out those names again. R-Truth, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Jeff Hardy, Dean Ambrose, Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, John Cena, Elias, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, Apollo Crews, Andrade, Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, Titus O'Neil, and Randy Orton.
Alright, so let's see here. I'll go with alright, you get your Drew, the one you really, really want.
Yeah.
My backup, the person I really would want to win above all else.
It's R-Trizzle, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
It's Kofi Kingston.
Oh, I'll give you that.
Kofi Kingston is everything Daniel Bryan is not, as far as gimmicks goes. He's everything that Daniel Bryan hates in his gimmick currently. And it would be a major reward for Kofi if he actually won the Rumble match. Yeah. Rather than just being the spot monkey of the event.
I'll give it to you. I'll let you have it. I'd be quite happy with Kofi Kingston, with the New Day in his corner, taking on Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I'll be happy with it. Seth can find his own way to Brock Lesnar. Done. Book it in.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Elimination Chamber. The men's pass can actually be fixed with no real issue. Which is why there's always the possibility of Becky winning the match.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't need the Rumble match to set up the title matches.
Yeah, well, I look forward to this pay-per-view every year. And I think looking forward to it is real easy when there's quite a few options in different ways. You know, we have our theories, and for the most part we agree in where our theories are headed and what the WrestleMania card's going to be. And then they'll open up, and the very first thing that'll happen will shock us and completely change those. Unless it's AJ Shinsuke, in which case you'll just be screaming, "I told you so" at the television. But sometimes there'll be that little thing, and it'll just be like, oh, well, that's knock-on effect, just changed everything. And with how WWE is just so, what's that, like, 6-letter F word that means, not sure, changing their mind. There we go. Just so damn fickle. Their plans could change just as quick as ours could.
Card subject to change is a thing.
Alright, well, we got like a tiny amount of time, so we're going to do the same thing that we did to NXT UK, except I'm not going to miss a match this time. And you might know who the competitors are. So I'm going to run down the rest of the matches, and you're just going to tell me who's going to win. So we got our opener, Matt Riddle, taking on Cassius Ohno.
I don't see any reason why Matt Riddle won't win.
I'm with you on that. A little weird to give the win to Cassius, so I'm a hit Matt Riddle as well. NXT North American Championship, Ricochet defending against Johnny Gargano. Do I need to ask?
No, you don't.
You're never going to bet against Ricochet, are you?
Are you going to bet against anybody like Buddy Murphy?
No.
Good point.
NXT Tag Team Championships, the Undisputed Era defending against the War Raiders.
It's time for war.
New champs, new champs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's time that the Undisputed Era lost the hold on the titles. And I'm fine with the War Raiders being that team.
NXT Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler defending against Bianca Belair.
Give me Bianca.
Okay.
Because I think Shayna Baszler makes her debut in the Women's Rumble the next night.
Okay. Her debut, or her one-off debut?
Her debut.
Okay. Let's wait and see on that. I'm going to stick with Baszler. I think Baszler will retain and make a one-off, just to have some moments, just so there's something in the video package when they do the eventual 4 Horsewoman thing. But I don't see her losing her title just yet. NXT Championship, last match of the night, Tomato Ciampa and Aleister Black.
Tomato.
I always read his name as Tomato. I had to say it. I'm sorry.
I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
I don't see Black winning it back.
I'm going to take your women's storyline and flip it over to the men's, and I'm going to have Tommaso Ciampa retain so Aleister Black can debut in the men's Rumble.
That's fine. I could honestly see him ending up in 205 Live too, to be honest.
Possible. I'm pretty sure he's under 205. I'm not entirely sure of his weight, but
Only reason I said Johnny Gargano earlier is he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, so it's an obvious fit.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's all we have time for. It's been great talking to you.
Bye-bye.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRadio, Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRadio, and we'll see you all next week with the results of the Royal Rumble and, if we got time, NXT TakeOver Phoenix.